I hope everybody is hearing right now, because at first my microphone was turned off. I hope everybody can hear me right now. Um, I hope everybody is hearing right now, because at first my microphone was turned off. I hope everybody can hear me right now. Okay, is the sound okay now? I hope the sound is okay. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my first ever live video. My name is Reed, obviously, and hold up, someone is saying that microphone sound. I hope the microphone sound is now okay. Then I guess I need to bring this. I hope the sound is now okay. I hope the sound is okay. Yes, I think the sound is now okay. So okay. Thank you very much, Tahir Shawaldin. Okay, the sound is now loud and clear. So today's live video is a simple challenge that I decided to pose to myself. I wanted to try to turn a Bob Ross painting into something real, like kind of, because I'm not sure I can really turn it into something real. It's just a simple challenge I'm trying to pose to myself. But let's just see how things are going to turn out for us. Yeeks, I'm very nervous right now. I hope my sound is now okay. I need, like, let's say two people to tell me my sound is okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Like they say, everybody's like the sound is okay now. So I think we can now start. Okay, so what we are going to be dealing with today is one of Bob Ross's paintings. It's a very popular painting and it's titled The Island of Wilderness. I've seen a whole bunch of people turn Bob Ross paintings into reality, but not like what I'm going to do right now, because mine is basically something like matte painting, adding just 2D elements right in front of each other and just doing some little effects on them. I saw one from CG Geek. He used 3D, and Corridor Crew, they tried it with 3D, and one of them tried it with Unreal. But since my machine is not good enough to run Unreal, and I cannot render things in real time, I thought maybe I'll use After Effects. So, like, since After Effects is a less heavy software, I'll be able to do things in real time for you guys to see. So would move into the next studio, or the next part I created, yeah, where we are in After Effects. Okay. I think I need to add this video. is one of Bob Ross's videos. I think I'll just open this up a little bit so you guys can see. This is one of Bob Ross's tutorials where he paints in real time, and I think I'd also like to follow it in real time because I don't like to keep forwarding and coming back and all those stuff. So let me just give you guys a preview of what Bob Ross really does. He just paints on an empty canvas, and usually I think I should have started with introducing Bob Ross. Bob Ross is an American painter who loved to paint landscapes each and every single time. And I don't know who started this weird idea of turning his paintings into reality, but I just saw it and I really loved it, and I also wanted to make one. So this is one of Bob Ross's paintings, which is titled The Island of Wilderness. And one simple disclaimer I want to make is that it's not really going to look as much as the same as Bob Ross's painting, but that's basically because I don't have the money to buy some assets which are really kind of like how would I even say it, assets which kind of correspond to the stuff he does or the stuff that he paints there. All I just had were free assets, and I haven't tried this yet. This is my first time of doing this, so it's just going to hit me, to be frank. I don't really understand what I'm doing right now, but it's going to hit me. So without any further ado, I'm going to start the video and we move on to like the real aspect. So I'm just going to reduce this thing here. And I'm going to stop this and restart it. So the thing is, I'm not hearing the sound, so I'm just basically visually looking at what he's doing there, and I'll be working with that. So I give it to you, Bob Ross. Let's continue. Let me use the sound of the media here. Alright, I hope my audio is good.
Hello, I'm Bob Ross, and I'd like to welcome you to the 29th Joy of Painting series. If this is your first time with us, allow me to extend a personal invitation for you to get your brushes and your paints along with us each show.
Alright, thank you, Bob Ross. Thank you, Bob Ross. Let's continue.
For inviting us back for another series of painting shows. We'll use about a dozen colors of some unorthodox brushes, and each show I'll show you how to put some unnatured masterpieces right here on the canvas. So I tell you what, let's get started. Today we'll have them run all the colors across the screen right there.
Okay, so Bob Ross mentioned titanium white, which I don't think I know what that means.
You need to paint along with us. While they're doing that,
phthalo green and patano blue and...
Today I'm using an 18 by 24
God damn, please, Bob Ross, can you please just go straight into the point?
Pre-stretched canvas, but you use whatever size you'd like. And I've just covered the entire canvas with a very thin coat of liquid white. The liquid white is designed just to make the canvas wet and to make it slick. It allows us to actually blend color right here on the canvas. Makes your whole painting life a lot easier. So let's get started. Thought today we'd just do a very simple little scene that I hope you'll enjoy. Let's start with a little 2-inch brush and a touch of the alizarin crimson. And we just load a little.
Okay, so the first thing Bob Ross is doing is he's kind of picking this color which kind of looks, but before that I think I would like to start by creating a new composition, which obviously you can either just click here to create. And usually, I don't know, these days I've kind of loved working inside a 60 FPS timeline, basically because Benny has possessed me. Not like he has possessed me though, but he has. 60 FPS kind of just, it's very smooth to work with, but it's not kind of that professional. But okay, I'll just like to leave this on, let's say, 30 FPS, and my duration, I don't think I can make it, and I'll just like to name this the Bob Ross painting. Okay, that's okay. And before that too, I would like to save so I wouldn't really have to endure any crashes, because this is a very delicate project. And Yeeks. Alright, so we have our Bob Ross painting composition created. Now the first thing we need to do again is to go into the main video and see what Bob Ross is going to tell us.
Pull a little paint out, tap the bristles firmly to assure a nice even distribution of paint all the way through the bristles. And let's go right up here. And we'll take this old brush and just making little X's, little crisscross strokes. We'll just very quickly drop in just a little warm part in the sky here. Maybe we'll have a little pink in the sky. I sort of like that. And in our world, we can do anything that we want to do here. Any old thing. There. Doesn't take too long when you're using a brush that's 2 inches wide. Okay, without even cleaning the brush, we'll go right into little phthalo blue.
Okay, so since this isn't some kind of a square canvas and I'm working with a horizontal canvas like this, he kind of painted this. Okay, so let me see what else he's going to do. Now he's going to use blue, but before that, I think I'd just like to come back this way and take a look at this again. So the first was this crisscrosses, which I can't do any crisscrosses, so I think I'll just have to use the pen tool with some sort of I think. Then I'll just like to kind of create some stuff like this here. Well, obviously I know this thing is not going to matter, so now it's not really that even there. I'd like to add Gaussian blur to it just to blur it out a lot. Well, and I'd like to just reduce the opacity because, yeah, I just want to kind of like this. And maybe one thing I'd like to do, since it's not really that how would I even say, it's not really that intense, and I would have just found a way to turn this fractal noise down. Then I'll add a tint effect here. Then I think I'd like to change. Let me turn this off. Let me turn this on. Okay, so I'd like to change the blacks to this color here, and the whites to a color which is kind of closer to white, like this. Probably. I think I'm getting somewhere. Then what the method I'll try to use is, I want to make everything look 3D-ish inside the scene there. Yeah, so I think let me just turn off this transparency again. So let's say this kind of looks okay. So let me turn this back on and let's play the video.
Phthalo blue. I like phthalo blue. It's a very warm blue, very nice. Once again, just tap a little color into it, and let's go back up here. And still using our little crisscross strokes, X's. That's all they are, little X's. We'll just apply a little bit of the phthalo blue, something about like so. Then we'll come back after we clean the brush and blend that together. Now the blue is many, many times stronger than this little pink area. It'll just eat it up.
Alright, so he's kind of doing the same thing for blue. So I think I'll just like to duplicate this here. Then I'd like to move it to the top. Then use my pen tool to kind of adjust this a little bit here.
Let's see, while we have that on there, let's have some water in this painting. I love water, and it's very easy to paint in this style. Still water is always level. And I think today we'll have
okay, I think I need to pause this now. Alright, then I'll just tint this one to a bluish tone, like this. And then I'll tint this to something bluish but a little bit white in the top. Yep, okay, so that looks cool. And then he continues to
outside in, something about like so. Alright.
Yep, okay, so he continues to add these sort of how do I even call it? I know they are water waves though. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to find a way to create
a little bit up there.
I'm just going to find a way to create something like this here.
Add a little more and then down
Can I
to the
please
bottom.
pause this video? No, I don't think I'd like to create it on this one. Okay, I'd like to create a separate one. So something like this. Okay, so I think let me just copy this color code here. Then I'll paste the color code here. Then I'll just copy these effects that I saw from here. And then I'll paste those effects here. But okay, so let me just add a simple Gaussian blur to it. Oh shit. Let me delete this. Okay, I'd like to copy this Gaussian blur, then I'll add it to this. Okay, so that does not work because it's on top of the fractal. It's supposed to be on top of the fractal noise here. Then let me just reduce this a little bit and add directional blur to it like this. Then I'd have to increase. I think I'd have to change the angle to something. Okay, I think I have to bring this back. Okay, so they're at this angle, so let me make it 90. Yep, okay. This doesn't look cool at all because Bob's one is kind of very dark. So let me bring this down like this. And then let me bring this to a little bit like this. Well, you guys already know I need to reduce the opacity too, so like, well, okay, so this is okay. This definitely doesn't make sense, but Bob Ross paintings never made sense till he finished the whole painting, so let's continue.
From the outside in. Outside in. Something about like so. Alright. Well, I have a little brush going. I want to darken the corners a little bit. I'm going to take a little Prussian blue and just add in the corners here and there. A little bit up there. And we'll go over to the other side and add a little more and then down to the bottom. We'll put a little down here too. I'm just putting a little Prussian blue in each corner.
Alright, so he kept darkening his stuff at the down point. So okay, I cannot wash my brush, so like what I'll do is he kept on darkening this part. So I think I'll take this. Okay, I think it's now time to start renaming all these because I'm going to get confused when I start getting into so many things. So I'm just going to rename this to the reddish sunset. Then I think I'll change this to top bluish sky down reflection. Okay, so I think this is okay, and now I need to duplicate my top bluish sky like this. Then I'm sure I'll just like to darken this tint here. I just like to darken this tint here, but then I'll just like to pre-compose it and then add a mask around this side and add a mask around this side. But then, as you guys already know, I need to feather everything like this, and I need to feather this too. Well, I think I'm getting somewhere. So I just need to do the same thing for the down reflection where he deepened those parts too. Well, okay, I think I'll just like to leave this one this way, but I'd like to pre-compose it. Then I'll just well, I think I'm getting somewhere. So I just need to do the same thing for the down reflection where he deepened those parts. Well, okay, I think I'll just like to leave this one. Well, practically, I could have also just added an adjustments layer, like I could have just added an adjustments layer, like, and just add the curves effect to it, like this. Then I'll just darken that way. Then I'll just start these. Well, let me see which one works better. I think the curves kind of work better for me here. So, well, in case I change my mind, I'll just like to bring these two down, and I'll probably just hide them. So, like, they won't be disturbing my composition. So next, Bob Ross washes his brush. So I know that sounded stupid, or that was very stupid. So you continue.
Washing our brushes with odorless paint thinner. Shake off the excess and just beat the devil out of it. That's
Okay.
really the most fun
So
part.
next, what does Bob Ross
Now
do?
with a clean brush,
He just kind of just
it's relatively
brushes
dry.
all
We'll
these,
just
and I'm not sure that's
start in the
any of
light
my
area,
business.
which is the pink, and we'll blend it all together. Something about like so.
All right, so I think he's trying to blend all these guys in, but I'm sure we'll do all that. Okay, it's reconnected. Thank God. So these kind of look a little bit great, but I think I'd like to try to change the blending modes of these to see which will work for me. Nah, none of these are going to work. So let's just continue till we find something preferable. Okay, Bob, let's go.
Take a little white,
I'm very, very
a little bit of
nervous
the
about
blue.
this thing.
Grab a little more of the titanium white. I want to make a light blue color here, mostly phthalo blue. And let's just tap a little color into the bristles. This old 2-inch brush will do marvelous things. Watch here, watch here, watch here. It's fun. Just take the corner of the brush and just pull down. Something about like so. Straight down, straight down. I'll make it look like little distant trees, live far back in the distance. A little more color, and we'll just have it, there you go, I don't know, right there. In your world, you create any illusion that you want. There.
Okay, so the thing is,
Bottom
Bob
light
is
so it
trying
looks like
to
mist. You could even
create
take
some sort of
another 2-inch
mountainous
brush, I have
areas
several,
at this point.
and tap it.
Yeeks. Okay,
Get in there
so
and tap it and then lift it.
I'm not really sure I have any mountains on my
Create that
PC,
illusion.
but I'd just like to check and see whether I have any mountains. Okay, so I have the picture. Okay, so I have a picture of the artwork. Now I think I can just bring it here, and what I just want is to trace some sort of the sort of mountains that he created. That's because I don't think I have any mountains on my PC right now, and I'm not sure I want to download any. Okay, so I'll just do this. Then I'm going to create a new solid out of these mountains, but I'm sure I would replace them with something much more preferable in the end. So let me just turn this off. And I think we are getting somewhere.
Mist right down at the bottom. And sometimes it's a lot of fun to put several layers. It helps create depth in your painting. And for that, we'll add a little more blue, but we make it a little darker. Add a little bit of Prussian blue to it, make it a little darker, but the same thing. And we'll come back and let's put another little layer in here. Just touching and pulling downward. That's all we're doing. That's really all we're doing. Something about like that.
Okay, so these aren't really going to make sense because this is a painting, but I would like to add some mountainous textures, and these are just references that I'm giving myself because it's not like I'm changing the already painted drawing into reality. I'm kind of following his tutorial, like there's some kind of a difference in that, but I think the reddish sky needs to come down a little bit. So the reason he's also doing these blue things is not because they are not mountains, but it's because there's some sort of atmospheric fog layer at that point. You see, when you're looking at mountains from afar, like you don't really see the mountains, you see some kind of whitish thing. And the reason I'm also doing this is not because, okay, I already said it, I'm just trying to get a reference. Then when he's kind of done and I'm kind of perfecting the realism, I'll add all those fog and the mountains itself, and you guys will really understand that I'm not really crazy like the way Bob was. Rest in peace, Bob. I'm very sorry for that. Okay, so the next Bob was doing was
There. And we don't know where that goes. It doesn't matter at this point. And back to our other 2-inch brush, and we'll tap this. I want to create mist again. Notice the separation. It's
okay, so he
caused
was
because
doing
of the
sort of
difference
the
in
same
color,
thing at this
difference in
point
value.
again. So I think I just need to turn on back the painting again and just turn this one off and trace this small one which you created again. Okay, so he was doing sort of the same thing at this point again. So I think I just need to turn on back the painting again and just turn this one off, trace this small one which you created. So I'm sure this part needs to be darkened a little bit like this. Then I'm sure I need to add another mask. Why I'm pre-composing this is because if I try to add another mask, it's just going to add to the shape layer. You see? So I'm sure I would not like to add another mask. I just like to pre-compose it and move all attributes into new composition so that it will basically look like a flat JPEG inside my composition now. Then I can now add a mask on it. Why I'm pre-composing this is because if I try to add another mask, it's just going to add to the shape layer. And there's definitely no reason for me setting my blending mode to subtract. It's up to you. It depends on what you can work with. Alright, so I think we are having something here. Well, let's continue. I'm not sure this is going to look real though. Okay, so let's continue.
And that misty area turns out to be your very best friend. Take care of it. Treasure it. There. Okay. Let's have some more fun. Let's see. Let's take some black, some Prussian blue, and a little phthalo blue. It doesn't matter. We'll just throw it on there.
Alright, so I think Bob is now about to paint the happy little trees, like my favorite part of all of them.
It's getting close.
The happy little tree.
Some color. A little bit of white. Don't want it totally dark yet.
That's
There.
if I'm sure.
Perfect. Okay, let me wipe the old knife off. And let's get us fan brush. We'll use a fan brush. Loaded full of color. Both sides. Both sides. Okay, let's go up in here. Now maybe in our world, there it is. There's now some little trees back in here. Now these are a little closer.
Okay, so yes, I guessed it right.
Detail.
Bob is now starting
More
to paint the
distinct.
happy little tree.
There. And we just drop them in. We don't know where they go. Wherever you want. too much detail in here. It's too far away. You're not going to see a lot of detail. You see detail when it's very close to you. When things are far away, you make out form, shape, basic color. That's all. Save your detail to the foreground. The lack of detail helps also create that illusion of distance and depth in your painting. It's very, very important.
Okay, so the thing is, Bob is creating the trees themselves,
A little of that.
and he's adding their reflections in
That'll create that
addition.
illusion of mist
And
down there,
this
too.
is really going to take
There,
some
slightly
time.
upward, lightly, just a little bit. See? Now then, you know, when I was a traditional painter, one of the hardest things to make effectively was reflections. Watch how easy. I'll
Okay,
take some of
so
the same color.
let me just pause this. Bob just painted the trees and their reflections, which isn't one thing. Okay, so now the first thing I'm going to do, I have these trees that I kind of, okay, I think I need to import this, which I downloaded from Production Crate, which I still need to thank Production Crate very much for their support, because they gave me this Production Crate subscription when I was to create my first character transformation, and they were like, it's for 1 month. So I was like, okay, then let me be fast and finish this. But till date, I don't know why the license is still working, and I just pick it up upon myself that I need to thank them in each and every single video I made or I make, because they've really impacted my life in a way that no one else apart from my mom and dad could. Well, okay, currently, but if you're able to buy me a camera or you're able to send me like $10,000, I'm sure it can impact my life more than Production Crate. Okay, so this year I'm going to use that displacement map, and I don't want to go around searching for it again, so I'm just going to import this before I start going elsewhere to do anything again. So these two are what I found online, and they were kind of perfect for the job because they look like Bob's happy little trees. They definitely look like it. Let me see this too. Okay, so this is what really looks like Bob's happy little trees, and you can see there's a blue screen which is there for easier keying, and you can even see that Bob's thing, it's kind of far from you, so like you see, you don't really see the mistakes inside the keying. So I'm sure I'd just like to I'm sure I'd like to start here and just end it here. Yep. Then I'll just import it here. Alright, so I think it even covers my 10-second mark. So then I'll just like to key it. I don't want to use any big plugin for this. Okay, it's not like I don't want to. I don't have any big plugin for this, so I'm sure I'll just key this out and just well, I think the keying is good. So let me look at Bob's proportions and just scale my trees down like this here. Yep, I think this is okay. And then I'll just duplicate this and Yeeks, I was duplicating the key light. Okay, so I'll just duplicate this here and bring this somewhere here. Well, okay, I'd like to flip this. I'm not sure there's anything. I'm sure I wanted to flip this. Gosh. Oh my god, I don't even know how to use this. Okay, so let me make this 3D and just rotate it in yeah, it's because okay, so the connection is freeze also. Okay, so like there's this big problem in Ghana here, which I'm sure Starlink needs to come to Ghana. Guys, please start a petition. Elon Musk, Starlinks need to come to Ghana, because MTN, Vodafone and all those, just to refresh my mind. Okay, so I would have to change this to subtract, so to remove that part where I masked, and then I'm sure making it 3D and flipping it wasn't really necessary, so I'll just bring it this way. I'm sure I need to check my network to see. This is really stressing out. I'm sure I need to wait. I think it's coming. Okay, so we're having a whole bunch of network issues here. So you guys should please bear with me. I'm sure maybe after I finish the whole video, I'll repost the whole video, so you guys, anybody who missed out on the live, can watch it in real time, like, and download it and do whatever you want with it. That's why I was saying Elon Musk should bring Starlink to Ghana here, please. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to mask this part here, probably just roughly. It's not going to be visible, so alright, so I'm sure this is now working. Okay, so now I'm just going to subtract, then I think we have our full forest, but this part is kind of very obvious, so let me just feather it a bit like this. Okay, so I think this is kind of okay for me, but they are not aligned and nobody's gonna know, but I still just have to align them. And looking at Bob Ross's painting, where are you? Looking at Bob Ross's painting, it was kind of curved a little bit, like let me increase this. Okay, so his thing was kind of concave, but before that I need to mask this part out too.
And pull down. Just pull straight
I'm
down.
just looking for a
It's
right
most
spot
important
to
you
mask
go
out.
straight down.
Oh my goodness, I think I played
Like
it.
so.
Okay, so let me just
Straight down.
pause this again, and I think I need to find a place to mask this. Probably just somewhere here, like this. Then I'd just like to make it look somewhat like a tree. Then I'll just mask this part out. Okay, so I'm sure I need to change the mask mode to subtract 2. Then okay, so now we have our trees, which nobody is going to know how I really did to get them, because they're going to be afar. And I'll just like to take these two and pre-compose them. Then you can see Bob's own, at this point there's some kind of a peak. And okay, so I'll just like to use a tool called either Mesh Warp or Liquify. I'm going to try both so you guys can really see how they work. Okay, so I'm just going to increase the distortion, okay, the brush size. Then I'll just like to make this tree longer, make this 2 longer, bring this part down, 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 down. Okay, I'm sure everything is going on. Okay. Yep. Okay, so now Bob's trees are kind of so black to the extent that we can't really see them clearly, so I'll just use some few effects like brightness and contrast. Okay, so now I need to name my pre-comp, because if I don't, I'm sure I'll just get confused along the line. So let me just name this the trees comp. Okay, I'm sure this is okay. Then I'd just like to reduce the brightness a bunch. Probably this is okay. Then I'll add the hue and saturation. You can see the greenish aspect of the trees doesn't really appear that much, so I'd just like to reduce the opacity like that. Okay, then I'll just like to scale it a little bit to the side, because yeah, that's what Bob did. Then I would like to now duplicate this, because I'm to use a 3D something. I'm sure I'd just like to create my camera now. Oh, sorry, I created a null object. I'll just create my camera now, and probably I just leave it as camera, then click on OK. Okay, like this. Then I'd have to make everything 3D, but for the sake of just these reflections, I'm sure I'll just leave it like that. Okay, so Yeeks, the tree should be very down, so this part, the darker part here, can appear. Okay, so I'm sure this is what Bob did. He added some kind of highlights at these sides here. He added some highlights at this side here, but I'll just use a mountain texture, so I have nothing to really worry about. So let me just reduce the saturation, then decrease the brightness, add some contrast like this. Okay, so I'm sure this is going on perfectly. Then I'll just duplicate this, then make it 3D. Then I'd like to rotate it on the x-axis, probably like this. So you can see this is okay. And then we have a perfect reflection. Definitely not a perfect reflection, because you guys can see I still need to do some adjustments like this. Okay, so I'm sure this is okay, but you guys can see the clear line between them, which VFX is kind of like, you aren't supposed to see that it's VFX. I hope you guys understand. So I'm just going to pick the first one, the top one here, bring it to the top. Then I'll just add a simple mask here. Now I'm sure I just need to do something like this. Then add a mask here. Then just bring this part. Then bring this part. Then I'll just have to change this to subtract. Then just feather this. Probably this is okay. Then I'll just have to bring this part here to the top, so it's not really that obvious. But I can just decide to leave that there. Then I'll just duplicate this one, but without the mask here. Then I'll add a fill layer to it like this. Then I'm sure I'll just change it to something dark here, then just bring it under all of them. So you see, it's not really that visible there. So now we need to make sure that these here are what we call reflections, because reflections can't be this sharp. And we need to also create a displacement map, because water doesn't just stay that way. So I'm just going to bring this that I had already imported in the beginning that I told you guys about. And I'm not sure I'd like to make it 3D, probably for my own reasons. Then I'll just scale this down, because this is like where the water is kind of going to end. Okay, so I'm sure it's not a looped thing. Jeez. Okay, so 3 seconds, it's okay. Then I'm just going to make it black and white, because displacement maps kind of work with black and white only, obviously. Then so I'm just going to add a black and white effect to it here. Okay, so now it's black and white. Then I'll just add the contrast, brightness and contrast effect to it here. Then I'll just increase the contrast to crush the blacks and bring out the whites. So like you guys, like the blacks, I don't even know how to explain this. If you're a 3D user, it's basically like bump maps in 3D. The blacks are the parts which are kind of pressed in, and the whites are the parts which remain normal. So if I turn off the brightness and contrast layer, you can see that almost everything looks black. Sorry, almost everything looks gray. So like the effect wouldn't be that intense. So I have to contrast everything and make the whites pop, and then make the blacks also come out. You understand? Like I need to crush the blacks and bring out the whites. So gosh, I think I need to stop explaining. So I'll just turn this on, and I'll just crush everything. I'll make this 100. Probably this is okay. Then I'm going to add a displacement map to, I already said I am going to get confused if I don't name these things. So the trees come, okay, so this is the reflection. Tree reflection. And I'm not sure since I started I even saved. I didn't save this. I'm sure I need to save this. Yeeks, my waist. Okay, so now I need to add the displacement map. Where are you? Displacement map effect to this here. But I'm sure I just need to pre-compose this and move all attributes into new composition, just to be on the safer side. Then I'll just have to change my displacement map here to okay, so I'm sure I need to rename this to displacement map. Then I'll just have to change this displacement map layer to the displacement map, and then I just need to increase my Yeeks. Okay, so I'll just leave this kind of this way, then I'll increase this to, okay, so why, hold up, I'm not sure I understand why it's just working on only this part. Alright, but it definitely makes this part look like a reflection though. But let me just change this. Let me see. Alpha, Yeeks, luminance. Okay, so I'm not really sure why this is really happening, but I'm going to figure that out real soon. Okay, so let me just take my reflection, then I'm just going to delete this displacement map here. Okay, then I'm just going to pre-compose this, move all attributes, then just leave it as a 2D layer. Then let me just add this back here and make sure this here is this. Well, it worked. I'm not sure you guys saw it, but it worked. Let me turn this off and on, then you guys can now see. Okay, I'm sure if I'm going to try to play this back, it's going to, you guys can see how it's kind of a Yeeks. Okay, but then I need to just go in here, then I'm just going to add some sort of a motion blur. Oh, no motion blur, directional blur. Probably will help sell the effect more. Then I'll just change this to 4. So the thing is, the directional blur kind of like goes anyhow, even though my displacement map is there to do the ripples for me. But I'm sure I just need to add the directional blur. Okay, so this is okay. Then I'm just going to duplicate this. But then I'm sure I need to change the, and now this looks like a Gaussian blur. But you guys should just stay cool. I'm sure I just need to add 5 of this. Why does this look like a Gaussian blur? Okay, so now let me check back in my composition and see how my thing is really looking. Okay, so let me turn this on. Okay, so I'm sure my reflections are really doing the most. Yeah, these look real. These really look real, to be frank. Then I'm just going to reduce the oh my goodness. And then what I wanted not to appear is kind of appearing. But do not worry, Farid is going to take care of it. 90. And I'm just sure you also need the mask. So let me just take the mask here. And let me just paste it here too. Okay, so now the thing is, I just need to add a solid there, a dark solid, to just cater for that thing which is really just happening there. Yo, why are you laughing? I would advise that you go inside whenever you're doing record. You go inside when you're doing record. Okay, so I'm sure I love my reflections here, and this took about like 10 years to make. Oh Bob, what is this? Okay, so now let's continue.
Make a little noise. Very lightly go across. There. Instantly, we have some nice reflections. That's simple. Now here's something that's fun. You take a little, I just use a little white. If you want to create another plane in your painting, take a little white and lift upward.
Okay, so Bob is trying to add some kind of
looks like a whole different
whitish thing here, but I'm sure my weeds have already taken.
Easy.
My weeds. I'm sure my weeds have already taken care of it. But I think my brightness needs to be cranked down a whole lot.
And we can go right up in
Jeez, okay, 150 is
and we
the
can
end.
just drop in.
Aha, this is what I'm talking about.
Just
let's say minus 15
was back in here somewhere.
in addition
We
will
don't
be
know where
okay.
it is. Don't know that we even
Yeah,
care.
well,
Just
okay,
let
so
your
this is kind of
imagination
okay.
take you anywhere
And
you
for
wanna
the
go.
reflection, I'm
Sometimes
sure I
just
need to
start
do the
painting
same.
and have nothing in mind but the time of day and the time of year.
Okay, so Bob is just kind of creating some sort of water ripples, but I'm sure I need to add the displacement map to my water layer that I made there too, so it can also kind of seem realistic a little bit. But here I'm just trying to get the brightness and contrast here. Okay, so I'm sure I need to do this to the down reflection part too. So let me just copy the displacement map effect from here, then I'll just paste it on this one. So it will also experience the same displacement map which the first one is kind of experiencing. So let's continue. I'm not sure I can really just create these ripples, but I'll try.
You can paint some fantastic little scenes. Don't worry about it. You don't always have to have a perfect vision in your mind of what it is you're going to paint.
Okay, so I can see what Bob is trying to create is some sort of fog there, but I'm sure I need to just use some kind of perspective to make my thing. But let's just try to.
It's like any other muscle in your body, or like a muscle in your body. The more you practice,
Let me see whether I can do this.
the better it becomes. Take some black, Prussian blue.
I'm just going to make a
I'll put
white
some phthalo green in there.
layer.
I like
Yeeks.
phthalo green.
Oh please. I'm just going to make a white layer and try to mimic what Bob is doing. Alright, so I think this will do the trick. Then I'm just going to add some sort of a directional blur to this here. I'm not sure I want it this way. I'd like it at a 90 degrees angle. Then let me see what I can get a blending mode to really sell this. Yeah, I'm sure my blending mode really just sells this. Let me just add a Gaussian blur to first, then blur it a bit. So I'm sure this is okay. Then I'm just going to add the displacement map effect to this too. Where are you? I'm sure I give something here. Okay. Alright, so I think I'm getting somewhere. Then I'm kind of almost halfway done with the tutorial.
There we go. All right, let me wipe off the knife. I just wiped the knife on a little paper towel. I would just
I've
use
been
a
streaming
brush,
for 1
a
hour
fan
and
brush.
17 minutes.
Load some color into it, both sides of the brush. Both sides. Let's go up in here. Let's have a little evergreen tree. He lives right there. See? Just make a line, take the corner of the brush, make a touch. Make another one. And just sort of work from the center out. There it goes. It's easier to do them fast than it is slow, though. Here they come. Just sort of back and forth. I had a lady in class one time told me it was like making Z's, the letter Z. She called them Z trees. So I guess that's as good of an analogy as any. From the the center out. The center of the tree should be the thickest, darkest, strongest part of the tree. Because you have leaves on the back, you have a trunk in the middle, and you have leaves on this side. We'll have
How
one
many
more
people are watching?
there.
Y'all
There
know
we go.
this tree again.
I have a little family of trees. You know, if you've painted with me before, I think everybody should have a friend. Even a tree. Even a tree needs a friend. Now, if you want to reflect those, just pop in some general indications of where they are. No big deal. See? Because we don't make mistakes here. We have happy accidents. Very quickly,
comes
you
down
have
here.
to work with anything that happens. Take the big brush, pull down, straight down once again,
Alright, so I'm sure I'll just pause this then.
and then go across.
I'll add
Instant
the
reflections.
tree. For the Christmas tree, I
Use the same
think,
fan brush. It has that
let me
color
just
made-
pause this here. I'm sure I downloaded one. Okay, so I'm sure this would do the trick. Yup, okay, so I'd just like to bring this in here. Since it's I couldn't really get that sort of Bob Ross's tree vibe, so I'm just going to use this one, where I think I'll be placing it somewhere here. I think somewhere here. Then I'll be making it a 3D layer. Then I'll just rotate this a little bit. Then I'm think I'd like to use a 2D horizontal view now. Then let me just duplicate this here and move this backwards in Z space. I'm sure. Then I'll just move this like this a little bit. Then okay, so the thing is this tree is a PNG file, so it cannot be, it has no move. So what I want to do is I want to use the puppet pin to kind of animate it, so it kind of has some kind of a little bit of motion, because I'm not sure I can animate each and every single strand on the tree. So I'd like to turn this one off. Then let me just pre-compose this and leave all attributes in this composition. Then go inside the main composition itself. Then try to add puppet pins to make my tree move a little bit. Probably when I start here, I'll just try to distort the mesh a bit. So I'm sure this is okay. Then I'll just create other keyframes for these two. Then move back like this. Then I'll just bring this back. I'm sure this is okay. Then I can just loop this. Okay, so I think I'll just like to loop in. I'm not really good with expressions. Yeeks. Okay, so I'm not sure my expression really worked, so I'll just like to do everything from scratch like this. Okay, so now I need to copy this, go to the third second, then just paste this. Okay, so Okay, so this definitely doesn't really look real, but okay, this definitely doesn't really look real. So I'm sure I just need to do some couple of adjustments, and I'll be back. Let me just take all these puppet pins out. These three. I'm sure it's like the whole tree which needs to move. So I'm just going to create one for the root, one for this part, then one for the tip, I'm sure. Then here, this is where I need to distort just this pin here, and yeah, okay, so I think this is it. Then it comes back to normal at the third second here. Then it continues. So I'm just going to copy all these, then I'm just going to move into the fourth second, then paste them back. So my tree kind of has this. Okay, so I'm sure this is okay. Then I'll just easy ease this. Then I now have some kind of a little windy tree which is moving a little bit. So let me just go back into my Bob Ross composition here. Then I have my tree. So I'm sure I'd just like to duplicate this, then pick the position property from here, then paste it here, pick the rotation property or the orientation from here, and just paste it on this two. Then I'll just delete this. Then looking back at Bob Ross's painting, I would like to see how he did this.
Yellow ochre. Immediately we have green. There we are. Let's go up in here. Then we can take a green. Let's go back and put some highlights on our little evergreen trees there.
Okay, so there are 3 trees there. So let me just pause this and add this one. Yeeks After Effects is kind of so go back to the 2 views, and I'm sure I'd just like to bring this backwards again, like this. Then I'll bring this back this way. Where is this one here? The one I rotated. Okay, I'm sure I deleted it, but I'd have to bring it back. Okay, so that's what I deleted. Okay, so I'll delete this, and I'll just bring this back. Yeah, okay, so this looks cool. Then I'll just scale it down. Okay, so this is kind of looking okay for me. Then I'm sure I just need to add some ground bar. I don't have any ground textures here, so I'll be using just a solid down there. Something like this would do for me. Okay, I'm creating a mask actually. I'm creating a mask actually. I just need to create a shape, something like this here. Alright, so I'm sure this is okay. Then I'd like to change this to black because it's kind of a little bit dark there. But I'll alter this in the end. So I'm just going to pre-compose this here and just add a mask on it here. Then make sure that the mask is set to subtract, and I'll just feather it a bunch. Well, okay, I think this is okay. Then I need to darken my trees because it's kind of sad how I'm continuing when I have 0 viewers now. Right? It's kind of sad. But probably one day it will be saved and hello? Hello? Can you guys hear me? Yeeks. Okay, so I'm sure this is kind of okay for me now. Then I'm just going to gather all these 3 here, but edit all this in the end. I just want to have the kind of I want to have a concept before I start all these edits. So I'm just going to I would have to duplicate this camera though. Then I'll just add all these here. Then pre-compose everything. Then I'll now have to create the reflection by duplicating, then making a 3D layer, then just doing something like this. Since I'd already done all those things about the reflection on the other layer, I'm sure I'll just have to copy everything like the displacement map and just paste it on this one here, this displacement map. But I think it needs to be a 2D layer before the displacement map can work. So I just did this because yep, okay, so this is working, but I need to now add the brightness and contrast, all those things. So I'm just going to copy them from where I pre-made all of them. So now moving back into the composition, I'm sure I have something like this to work with, but I still need to edit my ground though. So I'll just like to continue, but and I'll come and finish it up
Tree here.
in the end. I'm sure I have like 13
Saying,
minutes
don't leave
left.
me out. I need to
So
there we are. There we are. There we are. All right. If you painted with me before, I like old big trees. Let's take a little bit of that color right there. Let's go right in here. This is your bravery test. And we'll just put the indication here. A little bit
okay,
of
so
soil.
Bob Ross has kind of added these bushes to his painting, which I'm sure I need to add to. So I'm not sure I really need the ground again. So what I need to do is to just, I think I downloaded some bushes the last time somewhere here. Yes, I'm sure I downloaded these the last time. So I'm just going to bring this in here. Then I'll just trim the part where I want. Well, I'm sure I have to credit this creator because so all design creative, I'm sure you can check on his website, then you'd find all design creative. So I would just like to trim this part here, then I'd move to this part where it ends, then I'm just going to bring it in, probably just mask this part out. Then I'll just add the key light effect. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to do the job. Oh my goodness, this was a very bad idea. I'm not sure. Oh my goodness, why did I have to download okay, I'm coming. Let me just check whether I'll find a different one. Bushes, 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 bushes. Yeeks. I'm not finding one. This is green. Oh my goodness. Green bush shouldn't have been on a green screen. But I think I have a way to solve it. So probably as this has been keyed and almost all the green is out, let me just reduce the screen gain. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me just leave this on 100. Then let me just add a fill to see how this is going to work. Okay, so I'm sure this will kind of work a little. No, this is not going to work. I'm sure Production Create had some small plant assets. So let me just check on Production Create and see whether I'd find some plants and flowers. Well, okay, this will not work. Well, I'm sure this would work. That's if I just duplicate them anyhow and place them inside my composition. But these are 4K assets, so okay, these are 1080p rather. So I'm just going to bring this down. Probably just key this. Yep, okay. So Bob has these how do I call them? Bushes, but I'm not sure I have these bushes. So I'm just going to take a whole bunch of these and just add them into one layer so they can really do the trick for me. Okay, so I'm sure I just need to displace all of these differently so they'll play at different rates. I'm sure 5 seconds for my whole thing would be okay. So let me just change my composition settings to 5 seconds. Well, okay, my grasses and my bushes are kind of doing well for me. But if I had these bushes that I downloaded, I'm sure I would have really loved it. So I'm just going to pick all these here again and I'll just duplicate them, then just bring them somewhere here. As I had already said in the beginning, this is not going to look perfectly like Bob Ross's painting, that's because if I had something like an Envato Element subscription where they have just graphics, mainly graphics and videos, I'm sure I would have found a video to match like this. So I'm thinking I'm done somewhere here. So I'll just like to catch all these and pre-compose them. Well, just put them inside one composition. Then since this is water, I would have to pick this my down reflection here, duplicate it, then bring it to the top of everything. Then I'd have to mask to reveal these parts a little bit. Okay, so I'm sure I need to just pre-compose this before. Then I'll just have to feather this, but before that I think I'll just have to mask these parts just to make them look a little bit grassy. Okay, so this doesn't really look good at this point, but who knows? So I'm sure I just need to add these same effects to it, so it will kind of look like my whole thing here. Then I need to play Bob's thing.
Okay. All right, we got to figure out something to do on the other side now. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. You know, if you've painted with me before, I like old big trees. Let's take a little bit of that color right there. Let's go right up in here. This is your bravery test. Take the corner of the old 2-inch brush, and let's just begin laying in a basic shape here for a tree that lives right there. Right there. Big old tree. But he's a nice tree. There he is. All right, while I got that brush going, tell you what, maybe let's do something about like this. And we'll just tap in all kinds of little bushy.
Okay, so Bob is now painting some sort of a big tree here.
How tall is it?
Let me just pause it. As I already said in the beginning, I don't really have almost every single element. So my painting is not going to look 100% like Bob's own, or my video is not going to look 100% like Bob's own. But we just hope and pray for the best. So what I'm going to do is I would like to just find a tree which sort of looks like Bob's tree, which I'm sure this really does. So I'm just going to bring it in my project here. Is my microphone on? Hello, can you guys hear? Okay, so I'm sure this is okay. Then I'm just going to bring it into my composition. Yep, okay, so Bob was painting this. Then I'm just going to bring this pine tree here. Then I'll just key the blue out. Okay, this has a whole bunch of leaves. So what I would do is I'm just going to duplicate this, not the key lights. I'm going to duplicate the whole footage. then I'm going to bring it down so it sort of has. Then I'll just move this a little bit, then move this back, then just add my effects to it so it's a little bit dark. Yeah, I'm sure I love it this way, but let me just move this a bit to the side. I'm not sure I want them to be kind of okay. So when I move this way, then I'm sure I'm not getting somewhere
in between.
Bob's trees are concave and mine is kind of okay. Bob's trees are they are concave and mine are concave and Bob's are convex, and there's nothing really wrong with it. So let's just continue. I'm sure I'm left with 11 minutes. 11 minutes is just something small.
All the decisions. There we are. See, we just put.
Okay, so Bob is now painting some sort of grasses at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a dark thing, then just kind of trace. Do I still have his painting here? Yeah, I'm sure I do. Then I'm just going to trace that part where he kind of adds all these dark points. I'm just going to pick something like this. Yeeks. Okay, I added a mask. I'm thinking I need a shape. So whilst my bushes have been destroyed because I added a key light and it's not working, I'm thinking finding new bushes. Yeeks. I'm sure I just found the perfect bushes for myself. I should have looked earlier, so I'm just going to head on and okay, it's reconnected. Yeah. Okay, so now, as I already said, we are dealing with a whole bunch of network intermittent issues, which are really just slowing me down. What is doing here is that he's where am I again? Okay. What Bob Ross is doing is that he's where are you? Okay.
Our light color will show.
He's painting some bushes all around here.
Whoops. Grab another. There's a fan brush right there. Take a little white. A little bit of the dark sienna. Just want to make the indication here. Maybe a little tree trunk. Maybe a little more dark sienna. That's nice. Okay. Right here. Just want some indication.
What Bob Ross is doing is that he's he's painting some bushes all around here. And
there's a fan brush right there. Take a little white. A little bit of the dark sienna. Just want to make the indication here. Maybe a little tree trunk. Maybe a little more dark sienna.
the microphone was off all that while. So Bob started. I'm very sorry that the microphone was off all this while. Probably it matters to no one because like no one is really on the live stream at the moment, but I'm sure someone make use of this maybe when a whole bunch of people discover my channel. So let's just keep on going. At least I appreciate those who were there. There were like 10 people, so thank you guys, those who were there and they left. And so let me just continue this part. I'm sure I have like 10 minutes left.
We're gonna cover most.
So Bob has started painting some
Most
two
of
other
them won't show. We'll
trees.
go right into that. Get a little sap green.
Let me see what he's doing
A little bit
here.
of the yellow. We'll just put it right on this 2-inch brush. Give it a little push. Good shot there. You can see that well. Okay, let's go up in here. Now I want to put some leaves on here. Use just the corner.
Okay,
of
so
the
he's
brush.
just refining the
Just
edges
corner of the brush.
of this tree here, which isn't supposed to be that dark. So I'm sure I just need to brighten it. That's just all Bob wants me to do. Sorry, Bob just wants me to add saturation. Yep. So let me just add the saturation. It's 10 o'clock here. Yeeks. Okay, so I'm sure I'll just have to forward all these
Absolutely
parts.
anything.
So,
I decided I wanted your tree.
then Bob
Huge
adds
tree.
a new long
And you could
tree,
have done it with a 2-inch
which is
brush,
now
just as
supposed
easy,
to
but much quicker.
cover up this part. Okay, so let me just move these two here. So this tree was what Bob wants to add. Okay. So where is this tree? I'm sure I'd like to pick the bigger one this here. Then I'll just paste it here. And I'd like to bring it inside this point here. So so I'll just displace this one a little bit so it doesn't look like the others. So now Bob has started adding these bushes. Let me just check.
I like the old fan brush. It gives you, as the shape was right.
Alright,
Go
so he
back
just
there,
duplicated
top.
this one and
There's a happy little bush. It lives right there. And
right.
with the other side, I got some light brown I made earlier.
Okay, so he just added a different one. So I'm just going to pick, where are you? I'll just pick this up like this, then duplicate it, then just move it back in Z space a little. Then the rotation, I'm sure I'd just like to make this minus, so it kind of rotates the other way around. I'm sure by 10:30 I'll be done with this shit. I said I'm sure. I said I'm sure. Okay, so I'm sure this is okay.
I'm just gonna
Then
go through.
I'm just going to have to start adding my bush. Okay, so where are you? The bushes in plant screen. Okay, so let me just start adding all my bushes here. So now let me just play this.
See?
Then I'll have a
Put a
full
little
scope
black in it,
of
make it
the
look- ooh,
whole
that's
thing.
nice. Now, with that, I just want to come up here and make the indication. We can't see them, too much of them. Then we had such just pressure hardly.
I'm sure he's just trying to
Never believed they
add
could
some
paint.
ground
Just drop them in here and there.
and okay,
wherever.
bushes here,
Take a
ground
little-
here, and okay.
Another way of making
Yeah,
little sticks
yeah,
and twigs. Take
yeah,
your
we
knife,
know,
just
we know.
a clean knife, and you can reach up in here and just scrape right through.
Just
the paint.
trying to
Very
add some
simple
broken
paint.
branches
We'll sign
here.
this doing. So if you
Okay.
have time, take a photograph, send to us. Let us hear from you. Until then, from all of us here, I'd like to wish you happy painting and God bless, my friend.
All right, thank you very much, Bob. So now all I just need to do is to look at this part here. Just I'm sure I just need to look here, then just finish the whole thing up. Probably this solid should just go. I'm not sure it's really doing that much of a job here. Okay, I'm sure it was doing that much of a job. Let me just bring it back. But I'm sure it's okay. I'll just have to cut it out in a while. Just displacing this part so everything doesn't really look that awkward. And now I'm not sure I know why these are black, but I just need to check. Okay, jeez, I think I know why. It's because, all right, I'm sure this is now okay. So I just need to pick all these from here, then just paste them on all these here. Probably this will do the trick. Yep, okay. So now for this black solid, which I didn't want to be there and it's there. Where are you? This black solid, I'm sure I need to bring it down this way, so it doesn't really disrupt the whole process. Yep, okay. Then I'm sure I need to just change this to something brownish, dark brownish, because I'm going to need to add a ground there. Then okay, so this is okay. This tree that I added at the back there, I need to add another one somewhere here. Yeah, okay, that's good. So I'm sure I had a broken branch PNG somewhere. Where did I put it? I had the PNG of a broken branch. Well, I'm not sure that really matters because I can just trace a broken branch's outline. But let me just fill up all these. But let me see whether I can add some ground textures. So I'm just going to add this ground texture here, which would help because it's going to do a whole bunch of jobs. Where's my solid which I created? I'm sure it's this. Yep, okay, so this is it. So I'm just going to bring this ground here. Probably just do this. Then bring it to this side and I'll just duplicate it and add another one here. Since it's a seamless texture, then I'll just pre-compose it and make sure it's an alpha matte of this. Then I now have to add the curves to just darken it. Sorry, I'm sure I just need to add lightness. Okay, that's hue and saturation rather. Probably just have to copy all these brightness and contrast effects and just I'm sure I just need this to be very dark to the extent that these shadows aren't really seen. Okay, so I'm sure I'm getting somewhere. Okay, so now this here absolutely looks very cool to me. Let me just scale this down. Yep, okay, so now I think this is okay for me now. So all I now need to do is to check my where's my reflection for these trees here. I'm sure I put them somewhere. Okay, that's pre-comp 2, comp 1. Okay, so this, I'm not sure I added the directional blur. So here I'm adding the directional blur. How do I even add it? Where do I add it again? Phew, I think I need to just alter this math. I'll be done any moment from now. You. There. Okay, so now this absolutely looks very insane to me, if you ask. So I'm just going to look for how do I even call it? I've gotten some mountains and I'm going to look for an empty sky just to add it under and change my blend modes to multiply. Okay, so I'm just going to save this image. Yeah, okay, this will work. Okay, empty white sky. Yep, okay, so this would also work. Well, I think I need a lot of mountains. This too. So I'm just going to bring this white sky into my composition. Well, I think I'll have to just scale it upwards, then bring it to the back, the last part of my composition. Well, I think I'm done with the whole painting, so it's now just time to just manipulate everything. Just change the blend modes to multiply, and yeah, okay. So now for the mountain, for this part, the down reflection, okay, the top bluish sky. Okay, for this shape here, okay, for this shape here, yeah, I'll be using this mountain here. Okay, this looks cool. So I'm sure I'd just like to rather delete this, then go into the pre-comp of the mountain that I was to create, this one, then just add it there. Rather, that would be a much better idea. So I'm sure I'd just like to scale this up like this, then just change this into an alpha format. Then I have something like this. So now I'm going to close all these here and move into the normal thing itself. Yeah, okay, so I'm getting somewhere. Then I'm just going to open this one too and add this here, but a darker one. Yeah, okay, so still the same thing. Nobody's watching, but well, it's worth it. So I'm just going to add the curves layer to this and reduce. Oh my goodness. Thank you very much, Shawa. Then go back into the painting and I'll turn this on, and I'm sure I have something else again. So I'm just going to color match and adjust all these, which is going to take a while. So well, I like to use the brightness and contrast. All right. So now at the end of the whole thing, I getting something like this, but I just have to tie everything up with a whole bunch of dust, smoke, and a little bit of camera animation. Where are you? Okay, so this is smoky atmosphere. I'm sure this would do for the smoky atmosphere. I'd like to bring this down, probably in between my first. Yep. Okay, so this would do. Then I just change the blend mode to screen. Yep. I think I need fog. Let me see something here. Okay, I'm sure I need to. I need fog. I need fog. Okay, like fog from below. Okay, so that's not gonna work. But I'm sure this is kind of okay for me. So I'll just reduce the opacity a bit and just duplicate it and bring it in here too. So this kind of also works a bit. Then I'll just duplicate this and add it to my whole composition. Probably just leave it at 25. Yeah, okay, so this is cool. So now what I now need to do is let me just pre-compose this into what we call, okay, move our attributes in the new composition. Then I'm just going to create some sort of a simple camera animation. I'm going to make everything here 3D. Then now try to push everything back in Z space, Y space, and every other spaces that we have in this world. So here's my camera. Let me just pick this 2 views horizontal. Then for the 5 seconds, I'm just going to create a simple camera animation. So this is my camera here. So I'm just going to create a simple camera animation for it. Probably this way is okay for me. So I just have to readjust each and every single thing inside my composition just to make sure I'm not really messing up. This one is not. This one is not even. All right. So I'm very much certain and aware that there's probably no one left on the live stream, but Yeeks, this isn't what I'm supposed to end with, but just hold on, I'm sure I still can correct some things. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this camera here, then just create a new one. Probably didn't think well before making my animation. I think the other camera is here. Okay, so I think I just need to make a little bit of these tiny adjustments at this side because there's some sort of I think I'm done. Okay, so this is like, let me make this 30. Then for my camera animation, I'm sure I'd just like to delete this. I don't want to make the animation again because it's kind of going to take a whole bunch of time. So I think at this point I'm done with turning this Bob Ross painting into something real, which this kind of I don't know. I think I'll leave it for someone to judge, because if I'm to judge myself, I'd say I did some kind of a pretty good job. Not really that good, I'd say, because this wasn't really what I was expecting. But I have someone beside me who was here with me throughout the whole live stream, and I think I would like to show this to him, for him to give me his whole take on this. But right after I finished adding my own color grade, well, I think I'm done with this. So I'll probably just render this out. I hope this will not take long. Okay, Bob Ross painting. I just hope this won't take that long. Oh, I'm sure this is going to take long. So I'll probably just add this to when I'm reposting this video, I'll probably just add it to it. But I'd just like him to check the still render, or the still which is happening right now. I'd like him to see how well I did trying to turn a painting into reality, well, with limited resources like this. I think I did a very pretty good job. Yeah, so I think it was worth it. And I'm sure I'll repost this video probably when I'm done with this. But I'd like to end the stream here. It's been almost 2 hours of continuous work, and for just 5 seconds. And I had about 10 people watching me do my stuff, or do what I do best online. And it's an honor to like see someone really appreciate what you do. And I think I'll just like to check some comments that Yeeks. I'll just like to read a little bit of comments that people just made. Then I'll just answer them. Then just cut this out. I think I was around here where like Tyree Shawad is okay, loud and clear. Okay, then Halim Kamil was like, "Is Bob Ross still alive?" Nah, Bob Ross is dead. Bob Ross has been dead for so long, and he's a legend. He's a legend, yeah. Then Mohammed Sika, okay, that's my senior brother. That's my senior brother. Zaruk was like, okay, I think I can now stop this Bob Ross thing. So Zaruk was like, "You're doing great, boss." Okay, thank you very much. Yes, boss. Edwin Kayang is like, "Hello world." Okay, me, can you please stop making fun of me? Okay, then Muhammad Ilyasu was like, Bausu. Okay, then Tyree Shawadin, that's the person who is sitting beside me, the only person who is watching this. Okay, someone is watching the stream now, but he's kind of the only person who has supported me till the end. I'm not really saying I'm not appreciating those who didn't support till the end. Okay, it's something else, dude. Okay, but he said, let's see how this turns out, and it turned out great, and so you saw it by yourself. Then Desmond, okay, Desmond, I think yeah, I know you. Keep up the good work, bro. Thank you very much. And lastly, okay, that's second to last. Swat, can you? That's my sister. She was like, "I wish you nothing but the best. More grease to your elbow. We love you. I love you too." Zazik is like, "What's up?" Okay, so I hope the next time I'm doing a stream, I'll have a whole bunch of people who watch me till the end. Probably, let me just check this. The estimated time it's going to take to render is 20 minutes, so I'm not sure I can really wait for 20 minutes again. It's 10:36 p.m. and I'm sure my mom or my dad will be looking for me at the house, and it's going to become a big problem if I don't go now. So thank you guys very much for staying with me till this part of the stream. That one person who is still on the stream, thank you very much. I love you. So I think I'll end the stream here. Bye. Bye bye.